So travel training is a scheme that was introduced to enable young people with special educational needs and disabilities to get to school independently using public transport.
So my daughter has autism and severe learning difficulties, and she has always struggled to make friendships and do anything independently. One of our main aims is to make Millie as independent as possible and fulfil her own potential, so ideally live on her own at some point in life.
2 years he was on transport for, and yes, I think he felt himself that it was the right time to try and go out on his own, and it sort of coincided with his sister having to use transport as well because she was just moving to high school. So he sort of did it half a year before she had to do it, and that was nice because there are not many experiences that Danielle has before she has them. The main concern I had was the reading and writing because Danielle's literacy skills are very low. He has about a reading age of 8, and also Daniel doesn't have a sense of time really, and he can't read the clock very well. He gets very muddled with these things. So he's very reliant on technology for that.
We don't put a time scale on working with the actual student because we assess the individual needs.
Once we'd applied for travel training, we had a phone call, which was really nice. Again, in the world of the internet, it was really good to receive a call because you're able to talk about your child, I think, much easier rather than typing it, and Millie's needs. And then we were approached to come and have a home visit. Millie was instantly put at ease with the trainer because she showed her how she'd be travelling, which method of transport we'd be using. And I think also the trainer had lots of printouts showing Millie what she'd be doing and talked about a bus pass, which was obviously extremely exciting.
Danielle came, introduced herself, and I think, that reassures you already. Yes, it is daunting. I think there is no two ways about that. But then you are a professional service, aren't you? So you have experience with these things. It's not just anybody coming along, any volunteer or somebody with not as much experience as necessary. I think from when I met Danielle, I realized she has a lot of experience. She's obviously done this before,
I will then do the route with the student initially, so I'll go to the front door, we'll do it together so I can gauge what they actually know in terms of road safety, the community, if they know how to even scan the bus pass on the bus, because a lot of students don't, and then we will take it from there. I will gradually then start to take a step back, which would mean I could meet them at the gate, I could meet them at the end of the road, and then that's how it will work. It'll be a step back. Gradually when I see them getting more confident, more independent, then that's what will happen with consultation with parents as well. And also school will have an input because they'll often talk about it in school. The student then will do the route on their own independently with me loosely shadowing them. So usually they don't know that I'm there watching, and this will be a test of time because they might nip into the shop, they might meet up with their friends, they might not cross the road where we've said they're going to cross, and that's fine because a lot of children do that as long as they're keeping themselves safe and not acting vulnerable in any way, then that's fine, and they're taking on board what I've said, and then eventually they'll get signed off as independent and off they go.
We knew in advance which days they were. Sometimes I was at home to see Daniel off, sometimes I'm not because I work in the office 2 days a week, so I'm not always there when Daniel leaves. That's why he has his alarms set up and everything to make sure it's all working smoothly.
I think the importance of travel training is that we're all for the child now, and letting them have the right provision put in place in school, and colleges are very accommodating, but there's no point in having a decent provision if you can't get them there. And a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old will not want to be taken by mum to college. It's just not cool. Much as they might need it, and mum might need it too. But if they can do it themselves, they've already conquered one of their fears, haven't they? It's been brilliant. It has been brilliant.
This is a big step towards independence, isn't it? So he can now independently travel into Sale, he can independently travel to see a friend, for example, So it's small steps, but it is a big step, isn't it?